We're going to do something a little bit different today, and I wanted to show you guys how to do a little bit of energy work or energy healing. These are really beautiful introductory tools that you can use for learning how to channel. Now, it's important to realize that with energy healing, anybody can do it. Essentially, you're just a tap, and provided that we open ourselves up, we are nice and clear, the energy can then be received from above, from source, and pass through us. One thing you never want to do is pass your own energy through, which a lot of people tend to do if they haven't been taught properly. And what will happen is you get very tired. Energy work should always lift you up, not make you tired. The only time that it will make you tired, provided that you're receiving energy from higher source, is when the energy that's passing through you is causing healing in your own body. So then you will get a little bit tired. But anyway, let's get on to some really simple exercises. These are introductory and they help you to clear out your channel. When you clear out your channel, it's just a matter of practice, and every time that you do it, you will get stronger and clearer and more focused. So when you're ready, please find yourself into a nice comfortable position, and whenever you're doing any kind of energy work, the first thing that you will do is create a safe space energetically. Now, the spirit realm sees this as light, and as soon as we light up, we are essentially connecting in with the spirit world, even through energy work. So we create a sacred space. Now, the first thing I want you to do is visualize. You can close your eyes if you want, but I want you to visualize that your environment is completely sealed. And you can imagine that you've got a pyramid or a big bubble, nice strong bubble. Just make sure that anything inside this area is nice and quiet, that is of the highest vibration, and only those that are there for your highest good are welcome in this space. Now, any kind of spiritual work you do, first thing you want to do is create a sacred space. So, one thing I like to do is always cleanse the space. So, in your mind, we're just stating some intentions. I ask for this entire room, or the space that I sit, to please be cleansed with divine white light. And I want you to visualize and see that this whole area gets filled. You could visualize that it's a white fire or just a white light that's going to go from the bottom all the way up to the top, and we're going to release any negative energy in the room before you step into channeling a little bit of energy. Great. Okay. So first thing I want to show you is your auric field. So if you've done Reiki or something like that, a lot of the time you'll channel immediately. But what I want to show you is your auric field. So the first thing you want to do is get your hands and start rubbing quite strong and fast. Rub, 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 rub. And then very slowly, I want you to pull your hands apart approximately 3 centimeters away from each other. And concentrate on the space between your hands. Then I want you to make small circular motions with one of your hands. Very slowly make those circles bigger and bigger. And see if you can pull your hands further apart. Not too fast, but just gently bring them away from each other. And then again, make your circles. Now you might notice a feeling of tension or like magnets in between your hands. You may feel a push-pull or a little bit of resistance in there. Okay? Right, now that you've done that, what you're feeling is the electromagnetic field that's coming off of your body, which is why it feels like a magnet. And if you can't feel anything, hey, try it again later on, tomorrow, come back to it over and over again. Okay, so I want you to bring your hands down. That is the feeling of our aura. Okay, so there's a few practices here. One of them, you need another person to do it, but I'll explain how to do it. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is just channel a particular light. Now, different light in the spectrum of healing energy does different things. So what I want you to do is to simply ask and to visualize, if you can, for a white light to be passed down through the top of your crown, through the top of your head, and for that to pass down out through your arms and through your hands. And I want you to create a ball. And I want you to imagine and visualize that there is a ball of light being accumulated in between your hands. So if it's easier, you are most welcome to keep your eyes closed and to bring your hands further away from each other. Visualize that ball between your hands of white light passing down through the crown. Okay, and slowly bring your hands further apart and just notice the texture. How does it feel between your hands? Play with it. See how big you can get. Okay. All right. Now you're most welcome to place that on your body. So simply feel a part of your body, ask for that light to be handed through. So you place your hands and that light onto a part of your body and just visualize that beautiful light passing in and going into the body. Cool. Okay. Now I'm a terrible teacher. I forgot to get you to ground. So if you can, if you're keen to do this, I want you to bring your awareness down to the base of your spine. Okay, and at the base of your spine, you've got your root chakra. Now, it should be sitting about halfway down your thighs if you were standing up. A lot of people who are anxious, your root chakra is all the way up in the top of your spine. I want you to bring your awareness into the base of the spine, closing down your eyes, and I want you to visualize using a magnet to make sure that your root is about halfway down your thighs if you are standing up. Taking a nice deep breath. And as you exhale, I want you to visualize that there's a light or an anchor going right down into the middle of the earth. No matter where you go or what you do, you're going to be grounded, secure, connected to the timing and the rhythm of the now. And if you feel like that energy is just going a little bit too fast, I want you to take in a slow breath and visualize that as you breathe, a light goes into the center and slows it down. Okay. Now, please feel free to open your eyes. We're going to choose a different color. All right. So I want you to either choose your own, or you could ask that the universe and spirit bring you the correct color that you need to use the most. Okay, and if you've got a color that comes to mind, I want you to simply bring your awareness up to the crown and ask for that particular light to please come down and to pass through the body. Once again, I want you to bring your hands together and to visualize that in between your hands, that color is beginning to create a ball. All right, and as before, I want you to try and make it as big as you can. All right, and get that nice and big. And you may already notice the difference in how that energy feels compared to the white. All right, and make it as big as you possibly can and play with your hands. Bring them together. See how that energy feels in between. Sometimes it will come with a temperature. Sometimes it feels like cotton, other times it feels zappy in between. Now, everybody experiences a color their own way. Okay, so now that you've got that nice big ball, I want you to once again choose a spot on your body and place that energy on the body and visualize the light going in and deep into the muscles, deep into the body. Notice how you feel with that energy. Okay, bringing your awareness back here. Okay, guys, so different colors will do different things. This exercise, simply creating balls in your hands, is going to help clear these channels. It helps quieten your mind so that you can stay focused. I personally find it's always easier for me to focus on the point here. Now, when I first started learning energy work and channeling, my mind would get too resistant because I would be concentrating really hard on trying to visualize that this color is passing through, and that in itself would stop the channel. When you think too much and try too hard, it will stop. So for me, I found it easier to focus on the end point rather than the process itself. And eventually, over time, it just gets easier and easier. Now, with that same exercise, this is the one where you would need other people or one other person. It's nice to do it if you've got more than one person or more than one friend. Now, the same concept of creating the ball, except what you would do is your friend is sitting in front of you and you both have your hands up towards each other and you both concentrate on that energy passing through. Okay. The moment you start worrying about how it's going to feel is usually the point where the mind is going to stop the flow. So once again, just concentrate on the end point and on the channel itself, and you will then experience what it feels like to feel their energy, and that person will feel your energy. So this is where you can start together close and you push your hands further away, both concentrating on that light and that channel passing through. See how far away you can get and move them around, play with it, and you can get a different feel for the energies. So with this exercise in mind, if you want to become clearer in your channel, you don't even have to use this as an exercise to become a healer. It is just very useful for keeping the channels nice and bright, nice and open. Now you can transfer this over to two different things. Now plants are absolutely wonderful. Plants, you can't get that wrong. Use a plant and do the same thing. But remember, always place your sacred space around you and ground before you pass energies in and out. When you feel like maybe you're getting really drained and tired, remember, am I passing my own or am I channeling source? We always want to channel that source. So plants, you can do the same thing. Just ask for that light to pass through, and that's another way that you can keep practicing with it. Try different colors. Write down how each one feels when you place it on your body. The last one is water. Now, water is a beautiful carrier, so you can grab some cups of water, fill those waters with the light and with the color. Don't forget what color is in there, and taste them. Notice how they change ever so slightly. You have to tune in and also bring your awareness to every time that you're doing this, you're flushing. So you're also receiving healing. So that is for you. That is a really beautiful, simple exercise, super safe exercise that anybody can do. And it helps us towards maybe later on if you decided to use other forms of energy work. Now, if you've got any questions, please always feel free to ask them and I'll get back when I can. Okay? Have fun.